Firstly, it is a coalition work of a number of human rights organizations and groups, as well as individuals here in West Papua. The reason is firstly because of the state denial of the existence of the political prisoners, and also we have recorded through our reports the bad treatment that those arrested for prisons and the treatment they endure during their arrest and detention. We need to raise this to other people so they know that the conditions can be improved.
And what do you hope to achieve with this website?
We need to bring awareness on the existence of these political prisoners, and we need to do that in order to promote rule of law and that the rights of the political prisoners are respected, and what the Indonesian state had numerously expressed in the media, that this country is based on the rule of law.
What have the people featured on this website done?
The reality that the Indonesian state refused to recognize that they are genuine. They are arrested because of their political expressions. They were actually tried or charged through criminal charges, not political charges. So we need to raise this because when criminal charges are made against them, then they will be treated not as political prisoners. And these are the reasons why they endure violence during the arrest, even when they serve their sentence. So we need to bring this to the attention to as many people as possible, so they will not endure torture in prisons, but they will be respected. They need to have access to services like health, treatment, and to have family visit them in the prisons, etc.
I would imagine that the Indonesian authorities do not like the work you are doing with your website, Papuans Behind Bars. What have been the reactions from the Indonesian authorities so far?
As far as I'm concerned, no statement issued by any government representatives with regard to the launch of the website. We might assume that the state might be unhappy with this, but I think we are not doing anything against the state. What we are doing is to bring awareness and to inform the state that they have obligations to do with regard to the rights of the citizens, including those who are detained or who are undergoing legal process. The Indonesian state must acknowledge that they have the obligations to fulfill towards their citizens.
And what responses have you received about your website so far?
The media is positive. The local media here in Papua and also in English, and from NGOs, we are very happy that we are doing something right. I think generally people are happy about it, that at least something is done about the political prisoners, that at least their existence is recognized in order to counter what the Indonesian coordinating minister for law and security, who denied that there are political prisoners in West Papua. So that is one of the main reasons why this website is created.
How will you and your colleagues work with the Papuans Behind Bars website in the coming months now?
We'll be doing things like gathering information and putting information into the website, and basically updating. And through that, we will also monitor the situations of the treatment or the situation of the prisoners in all prisons in Papua.
How difficult is it to do that work, Paul?
I think the difficulty probably in gaining access into the prisons. We might do some good lobby in order to gain access into the prisons and to meet the prisoners.
What can normal people that are angry about the situation in West Papua do?
The best way to do is to follow what the government allows us to do, that is to follow the procedures and to follow the rules. We have people who come to our office, people who come with complaints and reports of injustices. And the only way to do that is to follow the legal procedures, like employing lawyers, human rights lawyers who work for human rights organizations. We need to improve their ability and also the number of lawyers. We need to have more lawyers here.
And what about people in Western countries like New Zealand and Australia? How can they help?
I think they need to engage more with human rights organizations in Papua, but also they need to probably provide assistance in capacity building, I think, and also to do awareness in respective countries like in Australia and in New Zealand, parliaments, and also the government also have to pay more attention and to voice the grievances that come out from West Papua. I think that's probably things that can be done.
How many political prisoners do you estimate are imprisoned in West Papua now?
For the moment, around 40, at the end of March this year.
And how do you think Indonesian authorities might be convinced to improve the situation?
I think through international pressure. I think that's the only way, because they have interest with other countries, for example, Western countries. I think here in the Pacific region, I think Australia and New Zealand play important roles in pushing for more respect for human rights. And for Indonesia, I think the two countries must repeatedly remind Indonesia of its obligation to do more, to respect the human rights and the right to live and the right to self-expression, freedom of expression in West Papua, and do not always resort to violence, because what the ordinary West Papuans were doing in the streets, in their demonstration, in forcing their opinions, were mostly non-violent. So the response should be from the Indonesian state should be non-violent in manner. So there's no need to resort to violence, I think. So Australia and New Zealand must all the time remind Indonesia that if they want West Papuans to feel that they're part of Indonesian state, then they have to be more humane in treating the West Papuans. So let them express their thoughts and feelings, and I think there's no danger in it.
And finally, Paul, can you just tell me a little bit how it is to work as a journalist in West Papua? Are there situations where you are afraid of your life or of experiencing anything painful?
Human rights activists are not always safe here. For example, our organization, Elsam, we were once sued by the Indonesian military here, and they demand us to apologize publicly through the media, and so far we do not comply because we feel that nothing wrong was done by us. So we will stick to our work. And yes, it is dangerous, especially those who really do the work. So it's not easy. And even for journalists, local journalists, things are the same. The ones coming from overseas, it's not easy because people have to come through disguise and through undercover in order to come to get information firsthand.